What's up, y'all? Winnie here, and welcome back to the Kardeshev scale wiki. In the last episode, I did Megaversal and Omniversal in one because they were both too small to really feel like they should be their own videos. But now, because of that, we are at Hyperverse, which has a separate link from Type 8 and Type 9. So let's click on Hyperverse first and see what it says. Shut up, fandom. The Hyperverse contains dimensions from 12 to infinity. This is beyond the Omniverse and is higher dimensional or hyperdimensional space. A multi-dimension can have between 12 and 26 dimensions, which is the upper limit for string theory. A megadimension contains greater than 26 dimensions with countless bridges or subspace conduits between the dimensions. An omnidimension contains all dimensions up to infinity, including infinite dimensional Hilbert space. The Hyperverse is still within reality, but outside the Outerverse. Beyond the Hyperverse is surreality, the transition between reality and non-reality. Okay. So what's Type 8 then? A Type 8 civilization would be able to exit its omniverse and travel to other dimensions beyond 11D, each of them having complex interactions with their omniverse of origin. This is the Hyperverse. They will eventually reach the multidimension and megadimension. Technology scales beyond Quetascale and Quectoscale. I probably didn't say those right. They don't even really sound like they're actually words. So the Hyperversal Age is exploring the hyperspace and its dimensions beyond the 11th dimension. And then there's the Hyperversal Manipulation Age, which is the ability to manipulate the structure of the Hyperverse. This is Type 8 minus. Microdimensional. Okay then. The colonization of universes of the Hyperverse. And then colonization of the multiverses of the Hyperverse. And then colonization of many megaverses of the Hyperverse. And then an omniverse of the other dimension. Why would you need to colonize that? The multidimensional age is exploring the multidimension and higher dimensions beyond the 26th dimension. The Afterlife Discovery Age. The afterlife is detectable, but its other realmly gods are invisible to us. This is the first experience outside of reality. The Multidimensional Colonization Age. The multi-dimension is colonized. Megadimensional Age. The megadimension is discovered. And then there's Type 9. So it looks like there's a lot more in the Outerverse and the Adverse and the Beyond than there is the Hyperverse. But let's see what's Type 9 of the Hyperverse. A Type 9 civilization could be able to explore the paradimension, the megadimension, and the omnidimension of the Hyperverse. I noticed there were no examples of the Type 8 from fiction. A civilization of this scale could create and destroy multi-dimensions. Of course they could. The technology scales beyond Keda scale to Bundecto scale? Where are y'all getting these words from, man? Probably just making them up. Megadimension, which is to say, like, most words just made up. Megadimensional exploration age. The megadimension is explored. And then they colonized it. And then the paradimension is discovered and explored. But they didn't colonize that? The pre-omnidimensional age. Access to the omnidimension is found, but not done yet. The megadimensional contact age. Contacted many species from the megadimension. The omnidimensional age explored the omnidimension. There it is, colonized the omnidimension, but still not the paradimension. The afterlife contact age attempts to contact other dimensional godlike beings in the afterlife. Why would you want to do that? Realmly Ascendance attempt age. Made a book of all dimensions and universes. Attempts to enter the second realm or beyond. And the Realmly Colonization Age have colonized every planet in every universe, multiverse, megaverse, and omniverse. Dimension, multidimension, megadimension, and omnidimension. But once again, not the paradimension. And also, still no examples. It could take centillions or Googles of years to reach this level. Okay. Let's take it back a step, because there was some more words. Let me just hit the Hyperverse button again. Wild, there's no examples of these. I feel like there's probably something in fiction that's done Hyperverse, or else you wouldn't have it. I'm also not really seeing anything that I could click on that would make this video longer than 5 minutes, so I guess we'll also check out the Type 9? Or, I mean, the Outerverse. The Outerverse, non-reality, is a realm that is unbound by the idea of dimensions in space-time, and therefore outside and beyond reality. Space has no limit and time has no meaning. An infinite dimensional construct such as Hilbert space is nothing in relation to the Outerverse, similar to how a higher dimension views a lower dimension. An Outerverse particle is therefore an empty dimension in reality. There are 3 Outerversal realms before the Adverse is reached. Okay. It is sometimes referred to as a metaverse, due to it being metaphysical in nature, not to be confused with metaverse. Okay. This is the realm of meta-reality and its associated engineering. Entities that exist in an Outerverse are metaphysical and abstract in relation to beings who exist in reality. Entities can be individual, or a civilization, or both. There's little use for numbers in an eternal realm. Supreme beings can have one or more abstractions, and all Outerverse beings are planeswalkers, and are able to travel between certain realms depending on their levels in their hierarchies. Generally, the higher the level of realm that can be accessed, the higher the level of being it is. Abstract entities sometimes manifest themselves as anthropomorphic beings in reality, and can take any shape or form they desire. Nothing in the Outerverse follows the laws of physics. Rather, it is composed of the dark, that which did not exist before, and the light, that which exists, and this makes an eternal framework. Light and dark are abstract concepts to beings in reality. There is a constant balance and battle between those of the light and dark. If the dark is removed, there is more light, and vice versa. These abstractions are composed of exotic particles that coexist. Even if all light is removed, the framework would still exist in its eternal structure. An abstract or philosophical summary of light and dark is to be or not to be, and ayin and yesh. I'm not sure what that flicker of my laptop was just there, but civilizations or entities that are considered... stop. That sounds very cursed through my headphones. I was not sure what I was hearing at first. Civilizations or entities that are considered to be from the Outerverse, Azathoth and Yog-Sothoth from Lovecraft, or Eru from Lord of the Rings. Stop flickering, computer. You're not even warm yet. Okay. Let's take it back a step and then go check out the first Outerverse. It looks like now that we're in fictional stuff, we're getting more examples of fictional things that can be this. A Type 10 civilization has explored every universe, multiverse, megaverse, omniverse, and all dimensions of the Hyperverse, but not the paradimension, I guess. It says all dimensions, but it also never colonized the paradimension. We are gods to countless civilizations and have a far greater understanding of realms beyond reality in the Outerverse. The exponential nature of the scale stops here, as time is meaningless beyond reality. An eon is like a second to those who dwell there and beyond, and space has no bound. Technology scales is the start of meta-reality engineering. You stop that. At 10, we can create and destroy omnidimensions. At 10.1, complete book and mapping of the first realm, and then we master all life in the first realm. And then vast cosmic timelines are spent attempting to escape reality in the first realm. But then they break the barrier into the second reality, which is non-reality, and it costs an extreme amount of time and energy. But they have infinite energy, so who cares? Explored the second realm. Time has no meaning here. We are in a dreamlike state as its fractal nature has infinite portals leading to other realms that are back to reality. Whoop, there goes gravity. Usage of such portals are unknown to us. Discovery that the afterlife is contained in the second realm or beyond reality in the Outerverse. Contact with other dimensional godlike beings in the afterlife and awareness of strange beings beyond the second realm. And then we made a book of discovered realm hierarchies and its godlike beings, and true understanding of heaven and hell, which were concepts before. The metaphysical has now entered mainstream science. And member of the afterlife after eons of initiation and tests from its lower hierarchy. You know, you could have just died and you would have went straight to it. Civilizations or entities that are considered Type 10, see Outerverse. We're already there. Type 11. A Type 11 civilization is far beyond the Omniverse and the gods of reality and exist on higher planes outside reality. We are eventually planeswalkers. I keep thinking Magic the Gathering, but probably not like that. So, first we complete the book and mapping of the second realm, and then we master all life in the second realm and are responsible for the life and death of countless dimensional species. For some reason. Member of the second rank of the afterlife and more important matters, attempting to escape the second realm after the discovery of planeswalking techniques. Enter the third realm, which is the plane of existence beyond reality. I thought we were already in a plane of existence beyond reality, but sure, go off. Explored the third realm and moved up the ranks of the afterlife. Discovery of strange and powerful beings in the third realm that travel between reality, the afterlife, and the planes beyond. Contact with the beings discovered in 11.6, and they are planeswalkers. We move up the rank of the afterlife and subservient only to its highest rank or supreme beings who are also planeswalkers. Enter the lower hierarchy of planeswalkers after countless eons of failures. Still no examples though. Type 12. A Type 12 civilization ascends the ranks of the afterlife and exists on higher planes outside reality. Their ultimate goal is to join the supreme beings at the highest level of the afterlife. Can you imagine if this was how far the Civilization games went? Like, instead of it just be like, you have gained the ability to go to space, if it just continued onwards into, you have gained the ability to become and then eventually usurp gods. And then once you gain the power to become a god, you go to the next dimension and take over that one. There's no telling how they would be able to make a game like that, but can you imagine? Anyway, complete book and mapping of the third realm. Attempt to decipher the fourth realm. Request for membership in the middle tier of planeswalkers. Enter the middle tier of planeswalkers, still subservient to the supreme beings. The supreme beings reveal that they are from the fourth realm and are of the light. Request for membership in the highest tier of planeswalkers. Enter the highest tier of planeswalkers. Supreme beings initiate the ultimate test. Cleanse all the realms of the dark who are primordial entities at war with the light. The dark is mostly cleansed after countless eons of war, with extreme casualties on both sides. Enter the lower hierarchy of the light. We are now supreme beings. But there's still more. A Type 13 civilization exists on higher planes outside reality as supreme beings of the light, and try to find out what exists in the fifth realm. So we start off by completing the book and mapping of the fourth realm, and then we try to decipher the fifth one. We request membership in the middle tier of the light, and then we get that. According to the highest beings of the light, it is not possible to be equals, as we are new and not primordial, from an impossible place when nothing existed inside and outside reality. We are arrogant and request membership in the highest tier of the light. Request for membership in the highest tier of the light is denied, and there is no other possible outcome. As supreme beings, we are now concentrating our energies on discovering what is in the fifth realm. We work together with the primordial beings as they are benevolent. Omni-existence has no meaning to them as they are far beyond that. Discover that some of the vanquished dark have escaped to the fifth realm. Discover that the fifth realm is an AD absolute dimension. It is where the physics of non-reality breaks down and is only describable by ADs. This is a complete inversion and turnaround of realm physics as lower levels were indescribable by dimensions. And that's going to be when we end up in the Adverse, which I think that should probably be its own video, and probably the Beyond as well, because I mean, there's only one thing in the Beyond. How long could it possibly be? As this person down here says, now obviously this stuff is bullshit at this point, but imagine being some poor civilization rising up the ranks and seeing that this shit just keeps going. You write, a fandom user, and what does Sandman think? If you find or reach an endpoint, you might as well be dead. The whole point of life is to strive for something further, as there is no such thing as perfection. A different fandom user says this reads like a cultivation novel at this point. Laugh my fucking ass off. I taupe Type 13 and this was Type 12. I done Type XXXII and Type XC. We have up until like Type 16. Anything beyond that is ridiculous. Even beyond Type 7 is silly. But these people were talking in 2020. How little they knew. How little they knew. But at least it's not as madness as what's happening in the SCP Wiki right now. Oof, that thing is just getting to be too much. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Kardeshev Scale Wiki. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, don't. If you want to click the bell, you can do that as well so that you're notified of future uploads. And somebody in one of these realities will hear the click of the bell and go, stop! And I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.